Welcome everyone. We were discussing about steps which are involved in the process of sexual reproduction. In the previous class we have seen the first two steps, that is the first step in sexual reproduction is formation of gametes, that is gametogenesis. Then the next step after formation of gamete is the transfer of gamete from male reproductive organ to female reproductive organ, where fertilization will be taking place. So that second step is nothing but gamete transfer. The first step is gametogenesis and the second step is gamete transfer. We are done with these two steps, that is gametogenesis and gamete transfer. After the gamete is transferred in higher organisms, that is in plants, it is by the process of pollination. That is, transfer of gamete is by the process of pollination, whereas in higher animals this transfer of gametes is through the process of copulation, where male organisms deposits the male gamete into the bodies, inside the bodies of the female organisms. So now gamete has been transferred to the male gamete has been taken to the female gamete. Now what happens? There is male gamete and female gamete. Now the third step after the transfer of gamete, the third step is fertilization. The third step is fertilization. That is where fusion of male gametes with female gamete take place. Fertilization is the third step of sexual reproduction, where male gametes fuses with the female gametes. So the process of fusion of male gametes with female gametes, so that is basically the process of fusion of gametes is called as fertilization. Gamete has been transferred. Now the transferred gamete, male gamete, fuses with the female gamete. That process is called as fertilization, or we can even call it as syngamy. Fertilization or syngamy. Here both the gamete fuses, and a zygote is formed. When both the gamete fuses, that is male gamete and female gamete fuses, it leads to the formation of zygote. But where this fusion is taking place, whether the fusion of gamete is taking place outside the body or inside the body, depending on where the fusion of gametes is taking place, whether it is taking place outside the body or whether it is taking place inside the body. So here fertilization is of two types. If the fertilization is taking place outside the bodies of the organism, then that fertilization is said to be external fertilization. External fertilization. External means outside. External fertilization, that is, if this fusion of male and female gametes takes place outside the bodies of the organism, then that is said to be external fertilization. And if this fusion of male and female gametes takes place inside the bodies of the organism, then such type of fertilization is called as internal fertilization. Internal fertilization. Internal means inside, external means outside, outside the body. The examples where we see external fertilization is, we see this external fertilization in frogs and fishes. Frogs will lay, that is a group of eggs, that is female frogs. Female frogs will lay group of eggs and in the water, and the male frog also lays the group of sperms on the surface of the water. So here water on the surface of the water, when the water floats, now here when this sperms, that is a group of sperms and the group of ova or the eggs, come in contact with each other, where they will come in contact, it is neither in the body of the female frog nor in the male frog. Where this fusion, that is meeting of male gametes, that is sperm and ovum, is taking place. It is taking place on the surface of the water. It is taking place on the surface of the water, because male has released the eggs on the surface of the water, as well as females also have released the eggs on the surface of the water. So where are the eggs and sperms now? That is the male and female gametes now. They are on the surface of the water. So on the surface, when they come near to each other, fertilization will take place. So this type of fertilization is called as external fertilization, where fertilization, that is fusion of gametes, takes place outside the body. Whereas if the fusion of gametes takes place inside the bodies of the female organisms, inside the bodies of the female organisms, then that fertilization is called as internal fertilization. In higher animals such as reptiles, birds and we mammals, we show internal fertilization, that is fusion of gametes will take place inside the bodies of the female organisms. Whereas in higher plants also, internal fertilization takes place inside the body of the internal fertilization take place. How in plants? Here in this reptiles, birds and mammals, in mammals we have seen the example in human beings or those animals where males will deposit the male gametes inside the bodies of the female gamete through a process called as copulation. Which we have seen in gamete transfer. So the male gametes are inside the bodies of the female organisms. Here in this one, in mammals and birds, the male gametes are deposited inside the bodies of the female organism. So where the fertilization will be taking place? It will be taking place inside the bodies of the female organisms. Similarly in plants also, we have seen now this anthus, they have pollen grains, and here this is the stigma, style, and this ovary. Inside the ovary, ovule will be present. Inside the ovary, ovule will be present. Inside the ovule, embryo sac and egg is there. So it is now the pollen grain from here, it is transferring to stigma, and from stigma the pollen will take, that is tube will be formed, and this pollen grain, that is male gamete, will goes inside. So now where this fusion is taking place? Male gamete from here is going inside and fusing with the female gamete, which is here, the egg is here. So fusion is taking place inside the female reproductive system here, inside the female reproductive organ, that is pistil. Fusion is taking place inside the female reproductive organ. So that is why in higher animals, in higher plants also, fertilization is internal. So first step, gametogenesis, gamete formation. Then after gametes are formed, gametes are transferred to the female gamete, that is male gametes are transferred to the female gametes. Now after transferring of male gametes to female gametes, the male and female gamete fuses. That process is called as fertilization or syngamy. Now here male gamete has fused with the female gamete, thereby zygote is formed. A zygote is formed. So this was the third step. This was the third step, that is fusion of gametes resulting in the formation of zygote. Now after zygote is formed, this zygote is nothing but it is a single cell. It is formed from two cells, that is sperm and egg. Both of them have fused and they have changed into single egg, that is zygote. The fusion of these two cells led to the formation of a single cell, which is a fusion of both male and female, which is called as zygote. Now this single cell will divide repeatedly and produce number of cells. These number of cells, and from this number of cells, from the zygote will develop into zygote. After undergoing a number of mitotic divisions, it will change into embryo. It will change into embryo. So that will be a fourth step. that is embryogenesis. The fourth step in sexual reproduction here is embryogenesis. Here in embryogenesis, formation of embryo take place. Zygote was formed, zygote undergoes division, and embryo will be formed. Depend on where the formation of embryo is taking place, whether it is inside the body or outside the body, because it depends on the fertilization, where fertilization has taken place, if it is outside or inside. If it is outside, the embryo formation will also be outside, and if it is inside the bodies, then the embryo formation will also be inside the bodies of the, that is, further development will take place inside the bodies of the female organisms. So here, when this fused zygote is formed, when the fusion of male and female gamete takes place, zygote is formed. Zygote is nothing but fertilized egg. It is fertilized egg. Okay, if zygote, that is fertilized egg, is outside, if the fertilization is taking place outside, that is fertilized egg is outside, then what happens to it? That fertilized egg will be surrounded by a thick eggshell. This fertilized egg will be surrounded by a thick eggshell. The fertilized egg will be surrounded by thick eggshell if the fertilization is taking place outside. This we see in frogs and fishes. Okay, and that process is called as ovulation. That process by which they produce, that is the thick, okay, leave this ovulation. Here the fertilized egg will be surrounded by a thick eggshell, that is called as, that it is surrounded by a thick eggshell. Now moving to this, if the fertilization is taking place inside the bodies of the female organisms, if the fertilization is taking place inside the bodies of the female organism, see here, if the zygote formation is internal, that is inside the bodies of the female reproductive system, then what happens? Here also at the end it shows a little zygote will be undergoing repeated mitotic divisions. It will change into embryo, and here this some organisms, in some organisms, even when the fertilization is internal, that is inside the reproductive system, there in some organisms, like in birds and reptiles, here despite the fertilization being internal, what happens is the female reproductive organ, they have a, that is inside that the female reproductive organ will have, it will also produce shell. Like here outside the bodies, shell was produced outside the body of the female, that is shell was produced outside. The egg was this, the fertilized egg was there, it is on the water, the fertilized egg is on the water. On the water, now around this fertilized egg a cover is formed, a shell is formed, which is nothing but eggshell. But here in birds and reptiles, the fertilization is inside the bodies of the female organisms. Even after fertilization inside the bodies of the female organism, here what happens is the fertilized egg will also, around the fertilized egg, eggshell will be produced. Here shell producing gland will be there inside the reproductive system, and then they have shell producing gland. So here after fertilization inside the body, okay, now after fertilization this reproductive system produces a shell that is inside the reproductive system a shell producing gland will be there. So that shell producing gland will be producing the, for example, this is the fertilized egg. This is the fertilized egg, that is zygote. Where it is? It is inside the female reproductive system. It is inside the female reproductive system. Okay. It is inside. Now inside the female reproductive system there is a gland is there which is called as shell producing gland. So this shell producing gland will make a cover outside the egg, fertilized egg, that is zygote. It will make a shell. Now after the shell is formed, the organisms, that is the birds or reptiles, they lay eggs. They lay eggs. So where is embryo now? Here, inside this egg. They lay egg. Okay, then the eggs will be hatched. The eggs will be hatched. After hatching of eggs, here organisms, new organism comes out. After hatching of eggs, new organism comes out. So here in this case, in birds and reptiles, though fertilization is internal, after fertilization, that is after formation of zygote, they are producing a shell. They are producing a shell and laying the eggs. Birds are laying the eggs. The egg, here the eggs, these eggs are called as cladoic eggs. These eggs are called as cladoic eggs. Cladoic egg means they will be self-sufficient, because after the production of the eggs, after the laying of eggs, the reptiles or the birds will lay the egg. Now where is the embryo? Embryo is outside the bodies of the female organisms. Now who will provide the nourishment? These eggs are self-sufficient. They have sufficient nourishment inside it. When they produce outside the shell outside, now here sufficient nourishment will be there inside this egg. So such eggs are called as cladoic eggs. They don't need to eat. They don't need nourishment, because already whatever the nourishment is there, nourishment is required, it is there inside the eggs. So such eggs which are self-sufficient, those are called as cladoic eggs. So these eggs will be the cladoic, that is the female bird, that is female bird or the female reptile lays the eggs. The eggs are cladoic, self-sufficient, and after that the females will be sitting on the eggs, thereby providing their body heat. That process is called as hatching. After the eggs are hatched, new organisms, that is new birds, will be coming out. New organism will be coming out. So this process by which, the process in which organisms lays egg, the process in which organisms lays egg, so that process is called as, that is the organisms which lays eggs. Now here birds and reptiles are laying the eggs. So the organisms which lays eggs, they are called as oviparous organisms. They are called as oviparous organism. Here fertilization is outside, they are also producing eggs. Here fertilization is inside, they are also producing the eggs. The egg, the difference between here and here is the eggs will hatch itself and the eggs are sufficient. Whereas in case of fishes and frog, the eggs will be very small. The eggs will be very small, and inside that small egg nourishment is very less. Nourishment is very less. It is not essential. Till the whole organism is formed, that much of nourishment is not sufficient. So here what happens? The eggs will broken down, and from the eggs larva will come out. Then larva will eat and they change into pupa, and from pupa they change into adult. They go through those stages outside, that is coming out of the egg. Whereas here the eggs are self-sufficient, they don't need to come out, they will be coming out. The eggs will be broken only when the organism is fully formed. So such organisms which lays eggs, those are called as oviparous organisms. They are called as oviparous organisms. Okay, and here in this we have seen this now. In higher organisms fertilization is internal, that is reptiles and birds, how fertilization is taking place we have seen. After fertilization, around the eggshell is formed, and when the eggshell is formed, the organisms lays the egg and hatch them, and after hatching new organism is formed. Whereas in mammals, Whereas in mammals, how? The mammals will not produce the egg. The zygote will change into embryo, and embryo will grow into a full adult inside the bodies of the female organisms only, and not adult, fully grown organism inside the bodies of the female organisms. Okay, now after the organism is fully formed, the female organisms will be giving birth to young ones. The organisms will be giving birth to young ones. Here fertilization is internal, but they are laying the eggs. Such organisms are called as oviparous organisms. Whereas in higher organisms like cats, dog, and we human beings, after fertilization, here the egg will be changed, the zygote will change into embryo, and embryo will be inside the bodies of the female organism till a new organism is formed. It will be inside the bodies of the female organisms only. Okay, and after the organism is fully formed, the female organism will be giving birth to young ones. They lay eggs, will change into new ones, whereas the mammals, they produce young ones, they give birth to young ones. So such organisms which give birth to young ones, they are called as viviparous organisms. So this is how the new organisms are reproduced. This is how new organisms are produced. It is either by laying eggs or either by producing, that is giving birth to young one. So in the process of reproduction, especially in sexual reproduction, first step is gametogenesis, then gamete transfer, the third will be fertilization where gamete fuses, and if the fusion is outside, it is external. If the fusion is inside, it is internal. After the fusion, embryogenesis, that is formation of embryo, and that embryo will change into a new organism. So here, if that new organism is coming out by laying the eggs from the egg, then it is said to be oviparous organisms. And if the organisms reproduces or give birth to young ones directly, then they are called as viviparous organisms. So this was the gist how sexual reproduction takes place. In the next lesson, that is in sexual reproduction in plants, we will be studying exclusively about plants. We said that gamete formation will take place. Gametes will be formed inside the pollen grains that is male gametes are formed inside pollen grains, female gametes are formed inside the embryo sac of the ovule. We said that gametes are formed. How gametes will be formed? Formation of gametes. How gametes will be formed? How fertilization takes place? How pollination takes place, by what means pollination will take place, everything will be studied in detail in the next lesson, where we will also see how apomixis, what is apomixis and how it take place when we go through all these steps. So all these steps are just the gist in this lesson. Here in the next lesson, how this gamete is formed, how male gamete is formed, how female gamete is formed, everything is being explained in detail. So next we'll move on to the next chapter, that is sexual reproduction in plants. How this process takes place, how gametes will be formed in the plants will be seen.